Hello. All right. I think I've got this working now. So I've been really meaning to come on here and do a little tutorial for you on all things jump rope because I know a lot of you have been asking questions, some of a more personal nature, some more like what jump rope do I buy? How do I do this thing? So my first message to you is this. I want you to do physical activity you love. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean it's something good for you. So I want to encourage you first and foremost, don't just do it because I'm doing it. If you want to give it a whirl, see if you like it, that's cool. But don't feel obligated to do it just because I'm doing it. But if you would love to do it, if you find you enjoy it, rock it, okay? So a lot of you are saying, okay, Heather, how do I get into this? Like what resources would you recommend? So the first thing I would recommend is this book by Buddy Lee. If you do not know who Buddy Lee is, he is an Olympian, fantastic jump roper. He has a complete schedule in here on what to do to begin jump rope training from the beginning through on to somebody who might be in a sport that wants to utilize jump rope to help them with their sport. So this is his second edition. I got this on Amazon, and it's Jump Rope Training, the Complete System for Fitness and Performance by Buddy Lee. You can go to Buddy Lee's website. You can check him out there. You can also follow him on YouTube. There's a bunch of cool videos you can see of him doing his own jump rope training. So that would be one of the first things I would recommend. Another thing you want to invest in is a interval timer. If you want one that is separate from your phone, which I do enjoy having this one, I have a simple little Gym Boss. I think I paid like 15 bucks for it on Amazon. I use it for interval training, but I also use it for my jump rope training. So this would be another thing that you would want to maybe have. You don't have to, you can get an interval timer for your phone, but I just want to make sure you're aware that that's also a good investment. Those of you have asked about flooring. So this is nothing fancy. Let me pull this out of the plastic here. If you're going to be jump roping in your garage or in any place really, I would recommend, this is called Interlocking Floor System. This one I got at Aldi's. It's really inexpensive. It was like 4 panels for 10 bucks. You can get something similar to this at a Lowe's or Home Depot. You can also order it on Amazon, but basically it's like the, as you can see, it's the cut flooring, and then you just pop the pieces together. I searched and searched and searched for a mat that I could jump on that had good reviews that was large enough. And honestly, I wasn't willing to pay $200 for what was coming up on Amazon. And there's, of course, companies that specialize in jump rope, and they're like, this is the one you have to have. And I ended up finding, if I said to myself, if this will hold up, then I would much rather just pay periodically to replace this because it's much more inexpensive. And for the amount of beating it's going to take, I don't want to spend $200 on a floor mat. So this would be an interlocking floor mat would be a good idea. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have a grand total of 8 panels. So I bought 2 packs of that. And I put 2 of them together to make a rectangular shape because you're going to want it to be longer than wide, typically. All right, so the next question I get, besides the interval timer, recommended materials, is what jump rope do I start with? Now, I have bought copious amounts of jump rope, and I am going to tell you the one I would recommend a beginner to start with. Based on where I was when I was beginning, and that's these thicker ones. They're like licorice tubes, okay? The very first one I got, which I can't even find in my garage right... Oh, yes I can. Hold on. Alright, so this was my very first jump rope, okay? Nothing fancy, big bulky handles, okay? This one is called Embark. I don't know if you can see that, Embark. It was a weighted handle jump rope. I took the weights out. I like it because it's a nice smooth rotation. If you can see that, that's how it goes into the handle, okay? It's very thick, all right? Now, the reason I'm suggesting you get a thick one to start, because oftentimes when you're starting, it's about getting the timing down. Now, I just ate and I just worked out for 2 hours, so bear with me if I'm not great. But what I want to show you is, first off, if you can see, I hope maybe you can't, on here, if I put my foot, let me see if I can back up here. I put my foot through the hoop, or through the rope, and I'm holding it up, and see how it comes up to my chest? The longer the jump rope, the easier it is to use for a beginner, okay? So you want it to be longer to start with, but here's the thing, when you're first starting, and you can probably see this, I'll try and slow it down, you're going to be doing these more exaggerated jumps, right? You're going to be probably letting the rope hit and kind of pull under your feet. When you're first starting, that's where a lot of people are. So you're working on just getting the eye-hand coordination, getting your feet to go. So you want one of these thicker licorice-like ropes, okay? Now, I like the Buddy Lee, and I just see which one this one's called, Aerospeed, okay? Comes in, you can pick the color handles you want, I got gold. But it's the same material. It's that thicker tube, okay? But I do like his because it's a smoother flow. Okay, you see that? Now, you can still do the same thing I was doing before. You can do the, right, the slower jumping at first. The thing you want to remember when you first get your jump rope, put your foot in about the middle, and I'm going to back up so you can see me here. Put your foot in the middle, okay? And ideally, you really want it to be underneath your armpit once you start to get pretty good. Lower on your chest, the more proficient you are. So you're going to shorten your rope as you get better. The shorter the rope, the quicker it's going to rotate around. When you're first starting, you might want your rope all the way up here to your shoulder blade. You might want to loop it through your foot and it be all the way up here. So it's nice and long, okay? So these would be the ones I'd recommend for a beginner. A thicker rope like this, all right? I do like these handle systems better. They rotate much more smoothly. So this one is the Buddy Lee Aerospeed. That would be one I'd suggest for somebody just starting out, okay? Now, once you get to a place where you're getting faster, you're getting more proficient, that's when you start looking for these more wire-based ropes. Now, this is my Buddy Lee one that got messed up, but I have another one in the car that I take to the gym with me. And this is his Buddy Lee Supersonic Speed Rope. But you'll notice they're all very similar, right? They're literally like a wire. I mean, actually, you can get them just as a wire. This one has a red coating on it. And these are much quicker, okay? So the thinner the rope, the faster it's going to rotate around, right? Could you slow it down? Yes, but it's easier to do with the licorice ones, okay? So these are going to be for people who've been doing it for a while or who really want to speed up what they're doing. You don't have to go to one of these, but that's what the purpose of this is. So as of now, right, what do we know? We know one, if we're interested in a training program, the Buddy Lee Jump Rope, this is a really good book. I want to say I paid like somewhere between $13 and $15 for this. You'd want an interval timer, and if you're following the program, he's going to tell you how long you should be doing each thing respectively, the different parts of the training that you're in. You want to get a jump rope that's more of the licorice base if you're just starting and you need a slower rope. You could do a weighted rope. Cross Ropes makes a weighted rope. I have not tried any of those yet. I have heard some people complain about them leaving bruises when they hit their legs and things like that. So I kind of shied away from doing that. But honestly, this was plenty. This is a nicer, slower rope, and it would give you the opportunity. It also has to do with the length of the rope. Remember, it could be all the way up to your shoulder, and then as you get better, you cut the rope and you reduce it to where maybe eventually it's down here underneath your chest, okay? Now, the other thing that comes up all the time, and this is specifically for ladies, so guys, if you don't want to hear any of this, you can turn it off. The ladies have asked two big questions. One, about the jumping with respect to the girls. So if you are somebody who is larger chested, I used to be, when I was overweight, I used to be quite big up top. Now I'm not, and so it's not as big of an issue, but what I would recommend, I would get an awesome sports bra, and I would actually say recommend doubling up. So maybe wearing 2 sports bras to really secure the girls to your chest to make it as comfortable for yourself as possible. The other thing that girls are asking is about the incontinence. So what I would like to suggest here is a couple things. One, make sure you're doing some of the female exercises. If you want to, you can research that online that have to do with incontinence. There's some female exercises you can do. That would be one. Secondly, only jump rope for short periods of time and plan in frequent potty breaks. And three, I would also recommend wearing some kind of protective panty liner while doing your jump rope, because if you've had kids or multiple kids or anything going on like that happened down in that vicinity, there's a good chance that you're not as strong as you once were, and that doesn't have to be a reason for you not to. You can get a very good effective jump rope workout in 10 minutes, and if you have to break it down into small incremental chunks to get it done, you can. So those would be all things I would recommend. Plan those frequent potty breaks, make sure you got the panty liner, make sure you're not drinking an exorbitant amount of water before you get started, plus you really don't want all that sloshing around in your stomach. So these would be all suggestions I would make. I didn't see anyone jump in, so I'm assuming there was no questions. I just wanted to put this video together so we kind of all of the information for the jump roping in one place, because everyone's been asking me different questions. What about the flooring? What about the ropes? What about the bathroom issues? And I wanted to make sure I put together a little tutorial for you. You guys have a great day, and I will be back soon. Bye.